Hey there, King44 the Master Builder, here with another awesome video today showing you, if you haven't guessed already, the legendary D50 C Loto from the Gundam Unicorn series. Now there are a few Lego Lotos out there on the internet, but none quite as awesome as this one. And hopefully by the end of this video you'll understand why. Now I know what you're thinking right now. Yes, it looks awesome, but does it transform? You can bet your graham crackers it transforms. Not only does it transform, it's got a lot of different parts and features, and as you can see, it's got the Mega Machine Cannon next to it. That is an optional weapon attachment. But we'll get to more of the functionality here in a second. Next, I want to just get into the inspiration behind this particular Loto build. Here is the inspiration for the piece. This model was built from a high-grade 144 Bandai, Gundam model kit. Now they've hand-painted it and added on a bunch of cool extra features on here. But this base design, the color, the gun on the rear there, the antenna, it was pretty much, the real inspiration that got me to thinking, hey, maybe I should build a Loto out of Legos. And also because I knew I could, build the best one out there. There are a lot of cool models out there if you want to search the internet and see what people have done with them. There's even a 1/135 scale Loto that's ridiculously big that I suggest that you try to find on your own time. But enough about this. Let's get back into the actual model. Okay, going into the functionality of this D50 C Loto, I wanted to show off the different ways you could do things with the different attachments it had. I'm going to have to move the camera around so you can get the best view here. So, forgive me for the wiggliness. So, here you can see the shoulders, how we swapped those pieces out. And, if you want to look at the other guy. And I want to show these 200mm cannons off and their range of motion. There's a ball joint there, if you can see it. Not in my own light. Yeah, there's a ball joint there. So the guns are pretty versatile in how they can swivel and aim, as per they kind of are in the anime. And that is about it for the 200mm cannons. Okay, next I wanted to get into the Mega Machine Cannon that you see I have attached to. Now it's pretty cool. I'm going to move the camera here for a closer look, so don't mind me. So here's the Mega Machine Cannon. It has a fair range of motion. Go that far up. And of course, swivel in and out. And it doesn't have as much range of motion as the cannons do, but it does have a barrel that spins. That's pretty cool, right? Yeah. And that's about it for the Mega Machine Cannon. And lastly here, we have the small machine cannon and the, I guess, giant flashlight, or searchlight, whatever you want to call it. But again, I'll move the camera in for a closer look at these parts. You see the Mega Machine Cannon's not that sophisticated, just kind of weird looking. Here you can kind of see the parts that hold on the back, well, that hold on the cannons, those green things. And then here's the flashlight. All of its splendor and glory. Yeah, it's kind of weird how I got that set up there at that height, just above the shoulder. Yeah, it took some puzzle, some puzzle putting together for sure. But as you can see, it's got the head there, and little things sticking up, and pretty cool. Just had to go back to showing this version of it one more time because it really is my favorite setup of all the possible setups you could have it set up. But I had to put the little 144 scale model next to it because I do have my own, and you can see the booklet for it there in the back. And I don't think I'll just kind of leave there. I know the letters are a little bit hazy. We'll just kind of let that sit there for a little bit, and while we go through the functionality of this baby. Okay, so from here I want to get into a little bit of the functionality of this Loto, and there are a lot of moving and working parts on here. So the first thing I want to start out with, I guess while we're from this perspective, is the ground clearance. Now it's got 4 tracks on it, 2 on the front and 2 in the rear, and it has a fair amount of ground clearance. I'm going to try to reposition the camera here just so you can see how much ground clearance it actually has, and the fact that it actually does roll. So it does roll at a fair amount of ground clearance. But let's get into some more of the features that it has. So, starting with the feet, you see we have these standard feet here, just like the feet on the model here. The foot does articulate, and it snaps into that position, and it also snaps into a lower position, like so. So you got 3 different positions for the foot, and also this sheet of armor right here is fully adjustable, so you can set that armor at whatever angle you'd like. Now between these 2 legs I have a set of bars here, and that's just to brace it. It makes it great for picking it up and, you know, making adjustments to it, turning it if you will, and it also helps keep these legs set at a set distance. If these bars weren't there, it kind of has a tendency to do the splits as you roll forward, but especially if the terrain that you're going over is pretty rough. But you know, it's just a simple piece just being held on by there, and these bumps right there, and he just goes in on there, and that just, you know, adds added stability when driving. So going up from there, we have the knee armor, and yes, it articulates here to cover up the knees. Kind of goes up to upwards to the chest, similar to the knee armor here. Let's see, we'll get into the of course, you know, you see the machine gun that we have, and the light that we have here. Let's get into the hands, because these are really cool. Now, as you can see, it's got the big old missile launcher, large missile launcher hands. And if you open one of these up, it's got 3 missiles inside. And yes, that's 3 missiles inside each one. Also, a feature on this hand is the beam burner that it has, and it kind of looks like a thumb.
The way this thing does, it folds out like that, and then it also kind of cocks over like so, and then bends back like that, and then to top it all off, you just add your burner there, and voila, now you have a beam burner in your hand. And you could even, raise its arm up and cut a chunk of the ceiling out like it did in the Gundam series.
And sought results from these new types.
So that's cool there. We'll take this beam burner off and fold this back up like so. Alright, cover up the thumb and close our fingers back. Well, we'll try to close our fingers back. Well, iffy there. Well, we'll get to that later. Fix that later. Let's move upward into the head now. And as we can see, there's the head. And yes, it does come up like so. La la la. And it spins around. So pretty neat head. It's got good movement. Sometimes it likes to fall when it's not facing forward. But there's the overall head for the Loto, and it does just sink back straight down if you press it down back into the body. So that's a pretty cool feature there. Then let's get into this backpack, if you don't mind me turning this puppy around. Alright. So on the backpack, we have a small machine gun turret, dual barrel. This is inspired by the design from online, from the image online that you saw. And yeah, it does rotate around, and you can change the angles of these guns, so that's pretty cool. And then, of course, I threw a little rubber antenna on there just for looks. On this side, extra ammo reserves, I believe these are, and they're just replicated in the shoulders for the utilize. Also here in the back, you see the rear tracks right here. This whole rear track system here does articulate, so just like this one will come up, for the backpack when it stands up. This will as well, and this part does also articulate. Up and down. And finally, one of the coolest parts about this is, of course, you can see the backpack here. Now inside we have a whole squad of 4 guys back here. So we have 4 guys that can actually fit back here. One is kind of sitting down, but 4 guys you can fit back here in the backpack of the Loto. And of course you have the back door here that comes out like so. So the 4 guys can get in and out. So, pretty cool backpack, I think. I don't think I've seen another design where the backpack is as functional as this one, but there that is.
Which at this point still had no specific definition, only potential. The term new type eventually came to be synonymous with ace pilot. A new definition.
Okay, I think we've gone over all the tank mode features. Sorry if I'm leaving anything out. But now let's get into the transformation. To start out the transformation process, I'm going to start with the high grade model here. And you'll see it here in tank mode. And the first thing we're going to do here is drop the legs like so. and they'll go up like so, and you can kind of see how they kind of are not in line. They kind of do that weird offset thingy towards the front. Then we're going to come to the front and close the skirt here on the front like so, and on the back we're going to rotate the backpack things on the back and turn the armor that way. And then finally for the head, just going to pull the head out. And that is basically how you transform the model here. There we go. So let's get into the actual Loto model and how it transforms. So starting out, first thing we're going to do is move the feet back into the middle position and just snap them down one. Then we'll move these cross braces here. Really only needs one, and that's only if you're going really fast or trying to push it really fast or going over rough terrain. Next, I'm going to turn it sideways just so we can kind of see what's going on here. And I'm going to take this arm and rotate him far back just so you can kind of see the leg, how it comes forward and goes up, how its knees are kind of against its chest here, and then they go back down at that angle. Bear with me because I'm kind of using I am using some old joints from Megabot Pro Builder sets, and they're really fantastic joints, but their issue is they kind of snap into place pretty violently, and chances are something might snap off here. But what we're going to do next is just lift it up, and you'll see the legs coming down here on the ball joints, and his legs will be lifted up. I'm going to skip around here to the back just so you can see the rear armor here go up like so, and the tracks here as they snap up as well, like so. So now our rear tracks are up, and next we're just going to lie him back down. So we can get to these legs here, and we'll just have to snap these legs twice. 1, 2 for one, and 1, 2 for that one. There we go. I don't know if you can see in this position, but these pieces are hinged right there, and that's for the skirt that's going to fold over. I think we're good to go. As soon as I get some blood circulation back in my arm real quick, let's stand him up. Put his knee braces in place, and get his legs rotated back under him like so. Next we'll put this while we're standing here, we'll close the fraud or skirt right there. Come around on this side and close the skirt on this side. Okay, skirt closed. Put his his arm down. And we're also going to unlock his arm so it's not stuck in the missile holding position. Unlock this other arm so it's not in the missile holding position. And then we'll pull the head up like so. And we'll last this piece right here. Okay, so we have him here standing up. Now, all well and good. And voila, there it is standing. Of course, we'll get it on the turntable so you can see it standing a little bit better. But there it is, I guess, in the pose right there. Let's get the angle, shall we? And voila, there it is transformed in all its splendor and glory. And it does stand pretty good. Pretty stable stander. From this position, I did show you that the these skirts here go up like so and back down for the leg articulation. Again, cockpit from right there, and yeah, there it is standing. Alright, now that it's standing, we can go into some other features that it has. Let's see if I can get this camera to zoom in. There we go. So from here, I'm going to zoom in and show the cockpit. And there is a actual man inside the cockpit. You can see his little hands up in there. Matter of fact, I'm just going to move the camera so we can get a fuller look on this guy. There he is up in there with the head and everything. Of course, this is a Mega Bloks guy. He's got his 2 control sticks in there. I know you can't see him very well, but there is a guy in there, and the cockpit does open and close. But unfortunately, it only opens while it's standing up. Can't open it while it's in tank mode. So then let's get into the skirt armor that it has here. You saw it hinge here earlier. It does hinge up here. Well, hinge up there, and hinge back down. Alright, looking at him from standing up, we got sort of a cheat system going on here with the arms. His arms do bend, but I keep that there to lock them in that position. It helps a lot while it's in tank mode. But yeah, let me see if I can get this camera zoomed back out. There we go. is in all its awesome glory, standing up. Also, there's another hinge on the side of the skirts right here, so they go out as well. And trying to think if there's anything else that I'm leaving out here, but I can't think of anything.
Marina.
Here it is again standing. Just wanted to change the gun around on it to the spinny cannon, Gatling cannon, and open up the missile hands on it. Gonna move the camera here, and so you can get a better look at it all. Missiles. My head, arm back there. Pretty cool though. Here's another pose showing some of the articulation of Loto. Got it here in a kneeling position, and I'll move the camera better so you can get a better visualization on how it's sitting here kneeling with its guns up and those tracks on the back. Pretty cool. He's kneeling as well. But one of the other things I wanted to talk about here was how the earlier model had these missile launchers in the hands, and they're kind of hefty, so it was a bit difficult to use, and that's why I ended up all in all taking them out of the hands just to conserve weight. And also they look better aesthetically, the little circles do, than these things looking down it. Plus, these things have 369 missile launchers, and this is only 3. So, but the cool part about these is that they do launch, and I did have the buttons exposed, so you could press a button and launch a missile, and that was cool. The cool part about this thing is if you press all 3 buttons, it launches. Well, you press the center button, it launches all the missiles. Yeah, I had those in the hands. It was pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, I opted to take them out just to conserve weight. So that's another interesting thing there. But yeah, there it is in the kneeling position. Here is another pose. This time I got the other arm up, and you can kind of see the beam burner in action here. I have it turned sideways and whatnot. Yeah, and it's putting out fire. You can also see the cones I use for missiles in this hand, because I ran out of those little gray circular ones. Yeah. Also the broken off sniper cannons, or sorry, broken off cannons, just from that scene in the episode. And here we are back at the turntable for the final review of this Lego D50 C Loto. I guess at this current time I have to be completely honest that there are very few actual Lego brand Legos on here. It is actually a large portion Mega Bloks. For instance, these leg armor pieces and that rear armor piece right there, and these flats for the arms, and these weird slanty pieces, and all these, pretty much every tan piece on there came from a Mega Bloks M1A1 Abrams set. So that's where it gets its color from. The tracks are of course Legos, and the gears that spin the tracks are of course Lego. But as those are the very few official Legos that are on this thing. There is some trouble with the snappy joints here, but it is pretty sturdy enough to where you can touch it and it'll still stay standing up. It's standing strong enough to stand on this turntable while spinning around by itself, so it's got a fair amount of balance on its own. I'm very satisfied and happy with this build, and I would appreciate any comments or input that you guys would like to submit about this. So again, this is King44, the Master Builder, and I hope you enjoyed this Lego DC50 this D50 C Loto Lego video.